Well, good evening, all. Ira Epstein, and here we are with your financial market wrap-up, and this wrap-up is for the evening as we're here now on Tuesday, and this is the 26th of March, 2024. All right, we've got to remember we're going into a holiday mode. The markets are not open on Friday, so futures closed, stock markets closed. Yet, you're going to get economic data that's important. You are going to get on Friday the PCE, the core PCE expenses. Very important. The Fed looks at it. They've already been calculated and they're generally pretty good. I wouldn't look for this market to be all of a sudden down big because, they use a lot of the equations and the numbers that were derived from our CPIs and PPIs. It's the March numbers that I'm going to care about. I care about March, April, and May. Why? Because if they start coming down, that tells me what the Fed may do. If they don't come down enough, it tells me what the Fed might do. And why not listen to the Fed members? They're all looking to see, does the data prove out that they want to cut rates, but when do they cut rates? That is the story. So as much as we saw the dot plot come out and the Fed chair say that they think they're through with the cycle of raising them, the question is, when can they begin cutting them? And I still think the U.S. will be amongst the last. We'll see if I'm right or wrong. Those 3 months will prove where we're at. Does that mean that Friday's core PCE won't be important? No, it will be, but I don't think a market mover. We have GDP on Thursday, and tomorrow we have one report. It's a light day. You get your Mortgage Bankers Association numbers, and, interest rates haven't done an awful lot. They've hung in there recently, so not much you could say. The stock market came back. Late in the day, we had a break. I hope you were watching that. Most of the indices ended up and closed lower. You're getting a pop right now. It's almost as though they overdid it on the downside there. If we take a look, you can see for the week, you're down so far about 1/3%, down 17 points in the S&P on a closing basis. You can see how the chart's been falling down, and you have an outside data to the downside today, not only in the S&P, but a few of the indices. Well, that means to me until today's highs taken out, the market's got a pattern of lower highs, lower lows, a bit bearish. The support's the 18-day average of closes, 52.31. The resistance has been the upper Bollinger Band, that as much as people go, well, I don't know. No, it does its job. You've been up there. You get opportunities if you've been dying to come in towards that 18-day average and you're overbought in the market. So trend down. The bias is up since you're over the 18-day average, and I'll call the neutral number 52.31. When I look at the NASDAQ, it's the same pattern. Lower highs, but higher lows. Not as bearish. Very different pattern through here. Okay. Neutrality, 18,375, but I guess you could call it lower highs. That's about as far as I could go with it. When I look at the mini right here in the micro Dow, higher lows, higher highs. If you had to put a gun to me and go, Ira, which one do you want to buy? This is the one I'd want to buy then. All right, because at least I can see where the support is. The trend is up. You'd have to come back and take out that low, and you've worked off an overbought condition already. The market that's fighting just sideways action now is the Russell, sort of stuck at the 18-day average, and you can see just how neutral it is right here, not going much of anywhere on price or momentum. When we look at the 10-year notes, the trend is down. Lower highs, lower lows. It had gotten oversold. It's worked out of that. It's still in a downtrend. I don't know the traders are going to make big bets one way or the other, given the Good Friday holiday in America and all the markets closed. And do they need exposure on something they can't control? On Friday's data that comes out, that means they come into Sunday and they may be surprised. So be careful. That's the smart guys will probably not want to do too much. Resistance still the 18-day average. You have to clear this area here, 107.0575 to say, nah, the trend isn't down anymore. In the dollar index, you got to 2 days ago, hit the upper Bollinger Band, and what I teach, you're overbought, you hit it. I think the pros came out, and I think the market is just sort of stuck. It's still bullish, but it's an overbought market, whereas the currency market has no trend in the euro. You have a higher high, lower low pattern, and you're oversold. The British pound fell down, the opposite of the dollar, went down to the 100-day average, the 200-day average, and the Bollinger Band, and just said, pros looking at that. Algo traders and so on, probably program, let's come out of the market and take another look. And because of the oversold condition, I don't know that you'll get people coming back in a big way. Bitcoin looks to me still friendly. I see support at 68,433. Don't want to see it break much back under the lows of late last week is really the word to say. And if it wants to rally, the 74,400 levels, the next target. In WTI versus the Brent versus the WTI, now that you're under the 18-day average of closes, the difference between the two, that works against the oil. And you could see how that's done. You've overbought, you've run out of momentum, you have higher lows but lower highs. So you've just run out of your momentum. It's the same pattern in WTI. None of these are bear patterns. They just lost their bullish pattern at the time being. And where you're fighting to lose the bullish pattern is here in this market, gasoline. Why? Well, you had a huge report yesterday from AAA, the auto club. And they're talking $4 gasoline, and that's your regular blend through the summer. That's a national average. You're about $3.50 right now. So they're looking for a big chunk to the upside. And I think the market looked at that, the Goldman report over the weekend, to buy the energies, buy gold, buy copper, all these things. And people got ahead of themselves, probably got overbought, and you're correcting. Tomorrow's a big day for this. If it's going to correct, you can't. If it's not going to correct any further, you got to lose that red line. It's got to get back over 79. Okay, right now it's at 75.44. If it does that, then this was just a pullback in a market that is still, in my opinion, bullish. Tomorrow's a key day for it. In natural gas, I'm still in the bear camp, but overall, I look at this and I go, how much downside is left? The market just came from 3.25 down to the 163 level, right in that general zone. I don't know. I'm bearish as a chartist, but as a realist, is there anything really left on the downside, or has most of the money been made and maybe you take your chips and you look elsewhere? That'd probably be my thoughts on it. You know, one of the things that I want you to do is take advantage of what we've done here for you with our QT Mobile. I don't know if you've tried it, but number one, you can read it. Okay, how many of them have you tried? You can't read it. You go to your font, or they have a font section. You can't read what they're doing. When this was built, we sat in the office and we made certain that we could look anywhere and see our quotes. They're all there. You can scroll them any way you want. We wanted to make sure if you were placing an order, you could read it. If you saw a chart, this is my phone, by the way, that it's crystal clear. So these are the pictures I captured with it. That's my phone playing my morning subscriber videos. It'll play right through that as well. Then if I read reports, I want to be able to read and look at the graphs that are there. I promise you, this is my phone and I can look at it. Now, we put out audio reports throughout the day, podcasts, if you will, that you can listen to. And we have voice control. So you can listen to the quotes you program in, and they'll play as you're driving along, and you don't have to look at your phone. So how do you get this? It's free. Give it a try. IraEpstein.com. It's IraEpstein.com. Move your cursor up here. Go to, when you get to the website, or you click this, it'll take you to the free offers area, and QT is right in there. Choose your other things as well. I'm Ira. You have a good day.